YouTube, good morning. I want to do a quick video on air pressure and show you guys what I ride with and how important air pressure is in these things, because I run the stock tire. I don't run paddles in the sand and then switch back to these 30-inch Liberties, which are stock with this particular machine. I just run them with every situation I'm in, and I personally like the sand. And in four-wheel drive with the proper air pressure, I can do anything I want in the sand. So I'm going to show you the couple things that I ride with, and just to help you out and talk about air pressure. All right, so this is the kit. This is the kit that I picked up at the dealership when I bought the machine, and I ride with it. I don't ride with a spare tire, because 90% of the time you can fix a tire with just a plug kit, and I've done some pretty good things with plugs. So with this little kit here, I personally like it because it's you got your plugs right here. Got my plug tool right there. Got the thing to clean out and cut the plug off. So then these little bottles right here, these are I can add. So if I get a nail or something, I can use these little bottles right here, and I can add some air pressure. So takes probably about 2 of these. I probably get a pound of pressure for each one of these bottles right here. But it'll get me out of a sticky situation. If I lost all my air in a tire and I'm able to plug it, I could get out of the situation just by using these. There's a company that makes a bigger one of these bottles, and my buddy actually has the system, and you can actually take that, and we use it all the time to air up and air down with it, because we're constantly changing our air pressure in the different riding conditions that we do. So these things are great. You can get these at like a paintball store, and you can get like a big not a big can, it's not huge. It's about the size of the back shock right here. Maybe even a little smaller than that. It's about that size right there, a can about that size right there, and it'll actually blow up your tires. We knocked the beads off one rolling it over at Dumont, and was able to reseal the tires with the big tanks. So they're worth the investment. They're just about $400. But this is a great little kit, and this is my favorite tire gauge to use on the actual Razor or the CanAm. So I check my air pressure probably just about for every ride, and I probably own about 6 different tire gauges, and this tire gauge right here gives me a really accurate at low pressure rating. So, and I run about 15 pounds when I have it in the trailer or when I'm driving it on the street. And I've been driving it on the street a little bit because I went over and took it over to the car wash and washed it, and then I'm bringing it over here to do a full service on it. So typically when I'm riding in the sand, I'm running in the Liberty 30-inch tires. I'm running 8 pounds in the front and 9 pounds in the rear. What I found is when I go down to 7 pounds of air pressure, the ride feels a little spongy and it feels a little square. You can actually feel the sidewalls letting go, and the ride becomes squishy. And I don't particularly like it. I like it, and there's a fine line there with air pressure as far as when it does that and when it doesn't do that. And it seems like right around that 8-9 pounds of pressure. So typically I'll run 9 pounds in the rear, and I'll run 8 pounds in the front. And that's when I'm strictly duning. Now, when I go out on the trail, I run 10 pounds. I'll run 11 in the rears and 10 in the front. And that seems like a good area to run air pressure on this particular machine. And then on the street, if I know I'm driving it on the street, or even when I put it back in my toy hauler, I like to have 15 pounds of air pressure in them. So as far as the machine goes, the CanAm goes, that's with the Liberty tire, with a 30-inch Liberty tire, that's what I've found the best. In four-wheel drive, in the sand, I can go anywhere. I go up Comp Hill, I can do anything out at Coral Pink. Pismo, there's nothing really out there, but it seems like I can climb anything with just the stock tires and four-wheel drive. Even two-wheel drive, it does fairly well. But when you're climbing the big stuff, I personally put it in four-wheel drive. All right, I'm going to finish the video by talking about pressures on the actual toy hauler and my truck. So I have a 1-ton dually truck, and I have a 43-foot toy hauler. And what I bought this little kit right here. And in that kit, there comes these little valve things right here. And these little valve things right here, you just literally, I've set these at 25 pounds of pressure. So my truck and trailer run 80 pounds of pressure. The trailer runs 80 pounds and the truck runs 80 pounds. I've set these at 25 pounds. So when I stick these on there and you just screw them onto the valve stem, and then it'll just air your tires down to 25 pounds of air pressure. And where that's useful is like at a Pismo, when I'm out there in the sand. I did a lot of research on this, and when I'm in the sand, you lower your air pressure, and it's supposedly it's 30% of your max tire pressure. So in Pismo, with a 43-foot toy hauler and my dually, 1-ton dually Dodge, you can lower the air pressure down to 25 pounds, and I had no problem pulling my fifth wheel wherever I wanted to out there. Now, I'm not saying I climbed any big hills or did anything ridiculous with it, but I was out of the surf, and I was able to pull it anywhere I wanted to, it felt like. And then I unhooked from there. I went and did the same thing with my buddy's trailer, and my truck I was able to do whatever I wanted to do with it. I was able to pull him way up the hill, and just by lowering the truck pressure and the trailer pressure, you have to do both. One time I was stuck out at Coral Pink sand dunes, and over there in the corral, if you want to call it, or the meadows, whatever you want to call it, in the summertime, the center of that thing gets really soft, the sand does. So I got out there, and I had those I had just bought those, and I was stuck. I mean, I couldn't move. I lowered all the air pressure in my truck tires, and I could move a little bit, but I didn't want to keep burying the truck, and I didn't want to get the trailer so dirty that I couldn't stand it. So I went back and lowered all the air pressure on the trailer, and after I did that, I was able to walk right out of it. I mean, it was like it was the difference between night and day. It was that much of a difference. So if the question ever is, do you have to do both? Yes, and it's about 30% of your max tire pressure, and you can get yourself, you'd be surprised what air pressure does and what it can get you out of. Anyway, I just wanted to share tire pressures with you, and running the stock tires on my CanAm, and also getting in and out of the dunes with my toy hauler. Thanks, YouTube.